In this video, I'll be talking about callback functions. What are callback functions? Why do we need callback functions? And what are the use cases of callback functions? Okay, we'll talk some of the real scenarios as well, and we will be covering these topics about callback function. Okay, so to talk about functions, functions are the heart of JavaScript, right? And functions are nothing but a simple piece of code that is basically used to execute or perform a certain task. That is normal JavaScript function, right? But what's the difference between function and callback functions? As the name suggests, it's the name suggests, callback functions are also our normal JavaScript functions. Okay, they are passed into another function as an argument and gets executed only after certain task is completed. Okay, that is callback function. But why do we need callback function? You know, JavaScript is a single threaded programming language, meaning it does only one thing at a time. It only does one thing at a time. It's single threaded programming language. But there might be a time when we might need to perform two tasks at a time, two tasks or more tasks at a time, or we might need to call the function, or we might need to perform certain tasks after certain period of time, right? During this time, to perform these asynchronous operations, we need callback function. We need callback function. Let's see a simple example. Okay, let's see a simple example. Suppose let's see a simple example. Okay, suppose I have to call a function after a certain period of time, right? After a certain period of time, and JavaScript does not wait for anyone. Okay, it does not wait. It continues. But we might need, in certain times, we might need to perform a task after a certain period of time. For example, let's say I have this function. Function greet, right? Function greet, which basically calls my name, right? Name sol.log hey, right? Great, Vishal. Okay, this is just a piece of code, JavaScript function that is basically returning me or greeting me, right, as a hey name, right? So if I see in console script.js, it return me a Vishal, greets me, right? But suppose I might need this function to call it only after 3 seconds, right? After 3 seconds, that may be a use case, right? Let's say I want this function to call out. This is a built-in function which basically uses callback function and executes code after given certain period of time. Okay, after given certain period of time. Suppose I need to call this greet function after 3 seconds, right? After 3 seconds, then there is a use case of callback function. Okay, so why do we need callback function? In order to perform asynchronous task, asynchronous operations. Okay, and maybe handling UI, handling user interactions in the wave, right? Using dynamic. For example, you are clicking something and then something happens in the site, right? So event listeners uses callback functions to execute a code only after event click event is triggered, right? From submissions, right? A lot of event listeners uses callback to make the dynamic wave, wave UI very dynamic, right? And to perform asynchronous operations, right? And yeah, and yeah, I think if we don't handle the asynchronous operation, we might fall into callback hell. I'll talk about it now after some time. So this set timeout uses callback function to basically to execute a code after certain interval of time, right? After certain interval of time. This is callback functions. So use cases maybe to handle asynchronous operations and making wave UI dynamic, right? Making wave UI dynamic. Let's, for example, I am ordering food online. Okay, I'm ordering food online. Let's say pizza. I'm ordering pizza, right? I'm ordering pizza. Suppose I'm checking the website of Domino's. I'm trying to order pizza from Domino's, right? CLZ ordering pizza from Domino's, right? Pizza from Domino's. Okay, I'm ordering pizza from Domino's. Suppose I am checking if peri peri chicken pizza is available. I'm checking if peri peri pizza is available on Domino's site. Now the Domino's site, what it will do is it will request its server whether the pizza is available or not, right? And then the Domino's server will respond, right? Will respond us with this response, right? Domino's server will respond us, right? Suppose will respond us, right? Suppose as a response what we got, and in real time it will make a fetch call, right? We'll see, it will give us promise, we have to convert that into object, right? And then once the data is fulfilled, and then only we have to display it in the UI. Okay, we have to display. Suppose as a response what you got is status success, and we status success means status suppose is available, okay, and is a pizza whatever we ordered, okay, and suppose in response we got this, okay, and there will be a function, isn't it? There will be a function to fetch, and we will display it only after 3 seconds, right? Callback and response after 3 seconds, okay, 3 seconds. So what this Domino's server response will do is, if the response status is success, then return me the dollar response dot pizza, right, is available online, right? Available online. Else console.log not available online. Okay, not available online. Okay, not available online. So what we have done, see here, this callback function is basically returning, this callback function is basically returning the response only after 300 seconds. Okay, only after 300 seconds. So if I may say, if I run this code again, see, ordering pizza from Domino's, it will only after 3 seconds once the data is fulfilled. Okay, once the response is fulfilled. Okay, Similarly, while doing asynchronous task, right, we might fall into problem like callback hell, right? Callback hell, like do this task, right? Callback hell. We might fall into callback hell, right? Do this task, and once inside that function, we are calling another function, right? That is callback function. Do this first, right? And then inside this function, we are calling another function, right? Do this second, right? Do this again, and then again inside this function, we are calling another function, right? In this way, we are making a deep nested code, right? Which is very hard to read, which is very hard to maintain, which is very hard to debug, right? Which is very hard to debug. We might fall into such problems. Callback hell, right? Callback hell. In order to solve, in order to get rid of this callback hell, right? Callback hell, there is alternatives. There are alternatives like promises, async await. We can use that, right? We can use them to write the right easy to follow code, right? Easier code to the code that we can maintain. We can write that, okay? We can debug the code. For example, in order to solve this, we can use promises, right? Promise, for example, do this task, right? This function will, right, will, once this function is done, then do that, then do this first, and once do this first is done, then do this second, right? And once that is done, then do this task, right? And in this way, we can basically we can get rid of being fall into this callback hell. We can use also async await, right? And yeah, making with your dynamic, we can implement event listeners, right? Event listeners uses callback, right? To basically to make the web your dynamic, right? Right, for example, there is a button, right? This my suppose there is document dot get element by id. Suppose there is this click button, right? Click button. So this click button will apply add event listener. This will get executed, right? And this event listener takes two parameters, right? Two arguments. One is event and the function. This function is a callback function, which basically gets executed, right? Which basically gets executed only when this click event is triggered, okay? This click event is triggered. Suppose there are a lot of other events, abort, right? Before input change, click change, a lot of events are there focused. These events, right? These events, once these events are triggered, only then this callback function is executed. So this event listener uses callback function. So yeah, these are some of the use cases of callback functions, and this is all about callback functions. And yeah, that's all.